Assalamualaikum Ingritis. My name is Muhammad Haziq bin Mohammed, a Diploma of Tourism Management student from Faculty of Hotel and Tourism Management from class MHM003 Inflation. Me and my fellow group members are going to present about Sri Lanka's inflation. This is our table of contents and I will start with introduction of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, or formerly called Ceylon, is an island country located in South Asia with a size of approximately 67,240 km per square. It is located in the Indian Ocean, southwest of the Bay of Bengal, separated from India by the Gulf of Mannar and the Palk Strait. Its capital is Sri Jayawardenepura Kotte, while Colombo is its largest city and as a political, financial and cultural center. Sri Lanka has approximately 22 million citizens with Sinhalese people as the majority and Buddhism as an official religion of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has two major languages, they are Sinhala and Tamil. Moving onward to Sri Lanka's national income from 10 years ago. The table above shows Sri Lanka's national income from 10 years ago. The highest is in 2024, in which Sri Lanka's GNI gross national income grows to approximately USD 97 billion, while 2022 is where Sri Lanka's GNI falls to approximately USD 72 billion. Sri Lanka's economic sectors are heavily dependent on the agriculture industry, tourism industry, and shipping industry, as Sri Lanka is one of the major maritime trade hubs in the world. Also, the port of Colombo in Sri Lanka is the largest maritime hub in South Asia, ranking among the top 25 ports in the world. Moving onward to Sri Lanka's flag. This is the national flag of Sri Lanka, also called as Singa flag or Lion flag. Now I'm going to tell you about Sri Lanka's main economic industries. There are three Sri Lanka's main economic industries. There are tourism industry, services industry, and mining industry. First, tourism industry is a part of Sri Lanka's main economic industry. Southern and eastern part of Sri Lanka are a major tourist attraction as it focuses on famous beaches there and a heritage sites in the center of the country island. Second, services like ports and airports are a part of Sri Lanka's main economic industries. Port of Colombo is one of the largest docks in the world and the largest dock in South Asia, distributing and transiting shipments from across the world. Third and lastly, mining is a part of Sri Lanka's main economic industries due to producing variety of gemstones and a leading producer of Ceylon blue sapphire. Sri Lanka also famous for its industry minerals and high quality granites. Moving onward, background and objectives of our study. Sri Lanka is a developing country with a diverse economy and rich cultural heritage. Over years, Sri Lanka faces economic opportunities and challenges, including tourism development, global trade competition, political instability, and economic crisis. Sri Lanka once reached hyperinflation during 2022, where the country facing foreign currency shortage, food supply shortage, and high debts due to COVID-19's post-pandemic. Despite that, Sri Lanka keep nurturing its economic structure in order to maintain its economy in a stable form. Studying Sri Lanka helps people understand how geography, resources, and economic activities influence a country's growth and development. The objectives of our study are: number one, to analyze Sri Lanka's inflation in 10-year lengths. Number two, to study inflation's impact toward Sri Lanka's economic growth. Third, to study types and causes of Sri Lanka's inflations and how they overcome it. Fourth and lastly, to study Sri Lanka's main economic activities. Now I will pass to my next group member.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Haziq Usayyim bin Hairul and I will continue today's presentations. Now, for the next part is the microeconomics problems in Sri Lanka, which is inflation. Now let's start with the definition. Inflation refers to the sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services in an economy over time. When inflation rises, the purchasing power of money decreases, meaning people can buy less with the same amount of money. Now, looking at Sri Lanka's inflation data over the past 10 years, from 2015 to 2024, you can see the trend here on this chart. As you can see, the inflation was relatively stable between 2015 and 2021. However, around 1% to 7%. But in 2022, it spiked drastically to almost 50%. This was the peak of Sri Lanka's economic crisis. By 2023, it dropped to about 16.5%, and by 2024, it actually went negative at negative 0.43%, meaning the country experienced deflation. Next, types and causes. Why did this happen? There are two types of inflation we identified in Sri Lanka's case. First, demand pull inflation, caused by the excessive government spending and borrowing, which increased money circulation beyond what the economy could supply. Second, cost push inflation. Since Sri Lanka imports most of its fuel and raw material, any rise in global price directly push up local production costs. The root causes include the foreign exchange crisis, excessive money printing to finance government debt, high national debt, the collapse of the tourism sector during COVID-19, and the 2019 tax cuts that drastically reduced government revenue. The last one is the impacts. This hurts the household. Price of food, fuel, and medicine went up a lot. Business struggle and many SMEs close. Poverty and unemployment increases, and it led to protests in 2022 that caused the president to resign. That is all from me.
My name is Muhammad Faisal Yusuf, and now I want to continue our present about measure and strategies to control inflation in Sri Lanka, which is point of monetary policy. After the economic crisis in 2022, Sri Lanka faced extremely high inflation, reaching over 16%. To control rising prices, the Central Bank of Sri Lanka implemented several monetary policies measures. First, interest rates were increased. Higher interest rates made borrowing more expensive, which reduced the consumer spending and business investment. As demand decreased, inflationary pressure gradual ease. Second, the central bank reduced excess liquidity in the bank system to limit the excessive lending and spending. Sri Lanka also introduced flexible inflation targeting framework under the Central Bank of Sri Lanka Act 2023. This framework aimed to keep inflation around 5% while supporting economic growth. In addition, the central bank allowed greater exchange rate flexibility and rebuild foreign reserve, helping to stabilize the Sri Lanka rupee and reduce inflation. Besides the monetary policy, fiscal policy also played an important role in controlling inflation. The government introduced tax reform by the increases VAT and improving tax collection. This increased government revenue and also reduced the reliance on borrowing. The government also reduced the unnecessary spending and improved the efficiency of public expenditure to lower fiscal deficit. Another important measure was restructuring state-owned enterprise or SOEs to reduce financial burdens on the government. Sri Lanka also carried out debt restructuring after its 2022 debt default, which helped restore investor confidence and improve the economic stability. To support vulnerable groups, target social assistance programs were introduced instead of broad subsidies. In conclusion, to the combination of monetary and fiscal policies successful reduce inflation and support the Sri Lanka economic recovery. That's all from me. Thank you. And now I want to pass to my group members.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Izan bin Abdulajid. Now, I will continue with my part, which is recommendation. There are 6 recommendations I will give based on each problem. Number 1, high inflation. The Sri Lanka government could implement tight monetary policy, reduce excessive money printing, and strengthen the central bank freedom to control price increases. For number 2, declining purchasing power and cost of living. Government can provide targeted subsidies and cash assistance for low-income households while maintaining price stability measures. Number 3, foreign exchange crisis. They can increase foreign currency earning through tourism, exports, and foreign direct investment (FDI) while improving reserve management. Next, number 4. For problems like rising poverty, the government can provide social protection programs by creating income support schemes and increasing access to affordable essential goods. Now, for number 5, unemployment. Sri Lanka's government can encourage private sector investment, support SMEs with financial assistance, and create job training program to improve employability. And for the last problem, which is number 6, high government debt and fiscal instability. They can increase tax collection and reduce unnecessary government spending to achieve sustainable fiscal stability. That's all for my part. Now I will give it to my next partner, Muhammad Ziyad.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ziyad bin Daud. For my part, I will make a conclusion about Sri Lanka's inflation. Sri Lanka inflation crisis was one of the biggest economic challenges faced by the country in recent years. The rapid increase in the prices of food, fuel, medicine, and other basic necessities made life difficult for many people. Families had to spend more money on daily needs, while business struggled with higher costs and lower profits. The crisis affected not only the economy but also the well-being of the people. many citizens experience financial stress, shortages of essential goods, and a lower standard of living. These challenges show how important a stable economy is for the development of a country and the welfare of its people. Despite these difficulties, Sri Lanka has taken important steps to improve the situation. The government introduced economic reforms and received support from international organizations to help stabilize the economy. As the result, inflation has gradually decreased and the country has started its journey toward recovery. This situation teaches us that careful financial management, responsible government policies, and economic planning are essential to prevent similar crises in the future. It also reminds us that economic problems can affect everyone, from individuals and family to business and the government. Overall, Sri Lanka experience is a valuable lesson for all countries. By learning from past mistakes and continuing to implement effective economic policies, Sri Lanka can build a stronger, more stable, and more prosperous future for its people. And that's all from me. Thank you very much.